Hi, I'm Jenny Jewell, a retired emergency dispatcher, and we're going to be looking at actual calls coming in. So we've been doing things with call receiving, which again is my favorite part to break down. But let's go ahead and listen to a dispatcher. So we're gonna have a little series of where we're gonna listen to dispatchers from different places and see how they work. Not no good, bad, or indifferent. There's no critiquing here. But there's a lot of you in the crowd here, the growing crowd of people that these videos are helping, that might want to hear what different agencies sound like and kind of get opinions on them and a little bit of a breakdown about a call in some cases as they come in, or just my opinions, because I can have opinions now that I'm retired. um, yeah, it's a nice little way to be. So let's go ahead and I recorded. This is Seattle Fire Department and Medic One. This was recorded yesterday. I will never broadcast live events. I'm letting you know that ahead of time because that is dangerous for the responders. So, not something I would be doing. But this was recorded from yesterday. And let's go ahead and listen to some Seattle Fire Department dispatching. I have other agencies from other states that we'll be doing. But again, being from the area, this is one I'm the most familiar with. So, we're going to start here. Yeah.
1 Sam 2 with 1 Sam 1 back on a hazard call. Sam 2. Sam 1.
And what I've done is I've set up where we're listening to the broadcastify as the calls come in. So that's the other reason why I didn't want to do that with my current setup. So what you're hearing, you're going to
MLK taken
hear.
away south at South Graham Street on the southwest side. There's a report of a male throwing stuff like wood pallets and other grocery pallets out into the roadway. One lane eastbound is now blocked on Graham. It's MLK and Graham for a male throwing stuff out into the roadway, specifically pallets. Don't have a description yet. TNT copy. T1
Yeah,
copy.
all right, let me pause this.
825, aid response.
All right, so we'll address with 825 here in a minute. But what I also did is I put it so that we could hear the Seattle Police Department and Seattle Fire at the same time, because what you just heard is a mutual. Mutuals happen. So these are two different, completely separate agencies that work on these, and they're talking to each other. So that you absolutely have to be able to communicate with your extended family as a dispatcher or even a call receiver. Um, yeah, absolutely have to be able to work with other jurisdictions, and that's what that was. So when you're hearing the police call come in, you're going to hear police calls come in. You're going to hear fire dispatches go out. So you're going to hear both police and fire dispatching for Seattle proper. But the ones that you're going to see in the list here is for the fire and medic only. So let's go ahead and get this going. But again, I wanted you to be able to hear how things happen, how they set up mutuals, things like that.
900 Pike Street.
825, 900 Pike Street.
Supposed to be on southbound Metro Coach number 8143. You'll be seeing a 60-year-old male, general weakness. Eight ten, aid response, 725, 9 Avenue.
Okay, so there was some step on traffic. So he got stepped on. Adam A12, not A12. Ha, ha. Sorry, I've been watching the show again. It's a cool show. A10, which A or Adam or whatever. A10 just radioed in because he wasn't heard. So somebody stepped on his traffic. But I think there's more going on here, and you're kind of gonna hear the call, the dispatcher answer up, and it's a voice you probably haven't heard yet. So
810, paid response, 725, 9 Avenue.
yeah, so he's at the scene is what he's trying to say. And then so when they tell you the address of again that they've arrived, they don't have to say that they've arrived because you already know where they're going. They just tell you where they are so you can acknowledge that yes, they are at this location, right? Really specific information here. But now we've had him try to get an answer up twice. And again, I'm not dissing. This is my family. These people are actually my extended family. The Seattle Fire Department. So absolutely no dissing on it. What happened was you could hear that his traffic got stepped on, and that can happen.
Paid 10, paid response, 725, 9 Avenue.
I'm taking my number. 810, 725, 9 Avenue.
Room 702, you'll be seeing a 93-year-old female syncopal.
On our 1, your number is 362591.
On R2.
1 or 2.
Do we have detail?
Negative. If you have a name, I can run it.
Yeah, things like this we're gonna pass. We're gonna skip past that. This illegal burn call is interesting though. So let's go back to when that comes in. Or no, I think we can do this one. I think that's safe.
50s, 5'11", thin medium build, wearing a beanie with a dark winter coat, maybe intoxicated. He was holding a bottle of liquor. And he's throwing these things out on South Graham there. Fancy copy.
Can you please check for a loss of Deca, David Edward King, and Roland Shelby E
Yeah,
for
I'm not
Edward?
gonna have you run
The
plates. We're not doing
southbound
plates,
females used
guys.
a tire iron to get into a vehicle, and then they took off northbound on Belmont.
Engine 21, code yellow fire response, 100 Northwest 85 Street.
100 Northwest 85th Street.
The two unknown race males both were.
All right, so you heard how that interaction went, which is how it usually goes. Is they tell you the address. They say that they tell you the unit. They say the address where they're at, and then you just repeat it back to acknowledge that you heard them. So it's not that you're like a parrot. You're not just parroting back the information. You're acknowledging the information. So don't ever think that it's anything other than that. Yeah, and I don't want to do these for too long, but I kind of want you to get kind of a taste of what the traffic sounds like. And I do have some other states and different city traffic that we're going to look at. And we're not going to be covering live active things. If you want to cover or look at live active things, there are going to be the links for the Broadcastify page for Seattle Fire and Police and all of that good stuff. And also the link to Seattle Fire Real-Time 911, what we're looking at here on the screen. So those will be down below also. But yeah, so kind of just a little bit of a taste. And as you can see, or possibly if you're looking close enough, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 active calls. 1, 2, 3 units still responding that haven't arrived yet. So if you look at it, even if you can't see the numbers, green means they're en route or assigned. Red means that they have arrived. So, and then if they're gray, like you look down further down below, that means that they've cleared, right? This is not the same thing that the dispatchers look at, but it is similar enough that it can kind of give you a little bit of an idea. Things have come a long way with going from the before map days, before E911, because that's when I started, was before E911, and also before the internet maps everywhere, like being able to pull things up. We did have access to certain search tools and things like that, but it was all just a computer aided dispatch program that we would use and go forward with that, and giant banks of radios. Things have changed quite a bit since then, and being part of watching that happen is kind of a treat. It's like being part of history. But with this was right. So you see all these holding calls. If you see the blue line right below where it says illegal burn, before right at the top, that's the shift change. So when I talked about, did you just hear a voice you hadn't heard a second ago? The guy that was trying to answer up for A10 was probably in the middle of a shift change. Now that we're looking at it this way, right? So I do know he got stepped on though, because that dead air traffic, that dead air that happened was somebody sitting on the mic, not accidentally, but like holding the button too long and stepped on the guy's traffic. Please, when you're doing radio work, have your say and let go of that button. Don't camp on the radio, or all kinds of bad things can happen. Just have your say and let it go. Have your say and let it go. You don't micromanage, just give them the information, let them do their job. So with that, you can see where the shift change was. So right at the top. So now that I'm seeing that in the recording, because I recorded this yesterday, that makes a lot more sense, right? I just remember the guy not answering up for A10 yesterday. So, and A is A10, by the way, which is a BLS unit, or it was a BLS unit, probably still is, the assignment number. But yeah, BLS, basic life support. If you see ALS, that's advanced life support. Things that would be BLS for basic life support would be, some aid cars carry nurses now, though, so that's not actually accurate anymore. Some will carry a nurse. I'm very happy about that. But so we still have like BLS, which would be like aid cars or fire trucks. And then you get medic responses, which would again be advanced life support, ALS, and access to different tools. So it's really what's on the attack vehicle that makes the designation, unless it's like a fire truck or a ladder or a tower or a bucket or whatever you want to call them these days. And again, when we listen to different dispatches, they may call the units different things because they have their own way of doing things. Every single dispatch agency is different. There may be similarities, but every one of them is different. But yeah, let's go ahead and wrap this up. I was gonna like do the illegal burn thing. That kind of gets in a weird spot and it takes a while. I'll explain what happened. It was people dragging wood in the street and burning it to cook. And it's like, okay, a little weird. But that's what they were doing, is they were just making a little fire at the side of the road to cook some food for whatever reason. And yeah, we're not going to do that. The one that still had me going, though, was that elevator rescues. There were a lot of elevator calls last night. I mean, the night before. I say night, but it's like yesterday morning. But yeah, there was a lot of elevator calls, a lot more than usual. So interesting. So be careful out there. Don't get trapped in elevators. Take care of yourself. Stay safe and don't be naughty. Bye bye.